Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Indie Corner Radio. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here with the lovely Julie Seidel. How you doing, Julie?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So I've seen Julie like you've been doing a lot, and I just constantly see a lot of stuff that you've been up to, like a lot of the films that you've been acting in and everything. And so, for the people who may not know who you are, and for even my sake, do you like is this what you've sought out to do since like the beginning of time, or is this something that's sort of come up?
No, I actually just got into it f pretty recently with it in the last 4 years or so. I think I was looking back, I was kind of always interested in acting, but it wasn't the main thing that I was pursuing. I do social work full time. And yeah, I did a little bit of background work before I got into acting, and I think that's probably I was interested in it in some way, and I really like just being on set and seeing how like all these shows or movies were made. And then I was following one of the casting companies for extras, and they posted a casting call for a speaking role, and I didn't really realize like, I could even get into that way. So I just started after that. I just started applying for whatever I could, and I got really into it. So yeah, it's
Y-
been good.
Good. So like when you were a kid, where did you ever think, "Oh, I want to be an actress when I grow up"?
A little bit. It was I did take an acting class when I was around 13. But then I don't know, I kind of just focused on other things and didn't really pursue it for a while. And then I recently got back into it, which has been great.
Yeah. Like were you in school? Did you do like plays and stuff in school?
No, I actually didn't. I did cross country and track and field in school, so I was too busy with those to do the plays and everything.
It's so funny. One of my friends was in school was a track and field person and an actress. She did
Um,
both. So she was in my drama class or whatever, and then she was also and now she trains, people to run and everything, and she was there for like the Boston Marathon. And was it the yeah, but unfortunately during that time that we had the bombing and everything, it was actually kind of scary, because
For
I was
sure.
like, oh shit, I know she's there. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And they didn't let you know for a while, like if anybody was okay because they didn't want the bomber or whoever, they needed to catch the person first, and so it's fairly
Right.
scary. But that's awesome. Like I love like people who come from like an athletic background who come into acting, because a lot of them tend to want to do more stunt kind of work too, and stuff. Like that's is that something you like as well?
I would definitely be interested. I haven't done that much yet. I've done, just some scenes where I like, fall to the floor, but I would definitely be interested in exploring that more.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, I don't know, but we got a lot of people like filmmakers are scared to let the actors do that
Mhm.
because, doing your own stunt can get you hurt, and everything, especially if you really don't know what you're doing as opposed to like somebody who's trained to do it. Um,
Exactly. Mhm.
but you've been in a lot of horror films, right? And what is your favorite genre?
Horror is actually my favorite, so it's pretty cool that that's what I've been able to do the most.
So, did you grow up on horror films?
Yeah.
So, like, you are actually a horror fan yourself.
Yes, very much.
This is gonna sound cheesy, but what's your favorite scary movie? What's your favorite one?
So there, I have a few. So the original Halloween, of course, is classic. I really like The Strangers as well. And then I really liked X that came out a few years ago. I thought
Yeah,
it was really good. So yeah, what are
m
your favorites?
my brother's actually watching that with his friend tonight for the first time.
Oh, it's so good.
Funny thing, they've seen Maxine and they've seen Pearl, but they hadn't seen X yet. And so I told them that Jenna Ortega is in it and everything. And he was like, oh my God, that's my favorite young actress now. So, I was like, all right, well, you may enjoy it. I don't know. You may like it more than you liked Maxine more than Pearl, but I'm
Oh.
more of a Pearl guy. And X I liked. I liked that a lot. I
Mhm.
guess Evil Dead is always the one I kind of like the original Evil Dead, 1981. That is usually the one I pick. But I mean, there's so many. It's weird. It's crazy to like kind of narrow it down. But I think I picked that one because that was the one that like the first one that really truly like terrified me,
Mhm.
and stuff like other than maybe like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies when they were on TV or something.
Right. Mhm.
But yeah, that one was good. I don't know. Are you a slasher girl? Are you a ghost girl? Like which your subgenre of choice?
Yeah, I tend to prefer slashers or home invasion horror movies, or I don't know, you consider like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of movies or like The Hills Have Eyes, stuff like that. I for some reason prefer when like actually when there's not supernatural elements, but there's some really good horror movies with that as well.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Because like I think it's scarier sometimes when
Yeah.
it's someone like it could happen to you,
Right. Mhm.
Like and then this is why I get it for and especially indie filmmakers. Like you look at like Your Next. And they
Mhm.
have the house like kind of in the middle of nowhere, so people can't, if they scream, the cops can't be called. But like, I think it'd be even scarier if they did it like in a normal neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've seen that really. Like even my friend David's movie, Go Away, was like sort of, it was like You're Next, where it's like a house kind of in the middle of nowhere, that, and I get it because like, A, it's also easier to film, you know, and
True.
that thing, so, you don't get the cops called on you if the stuff's happening outside your house. Have you ever had that happen to you yet?
No, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, oh no.
I mean, we were told the cops are going to be called, but yeah, we've had it happen, and I mean, it's easy to handle in Virginia, but not as easy to handle like you have to deal with a lot more permits and other stuff other places, especially California, you know. So where have you filmed?
So I film mostly in the New Jersey, Philadelphia area. I'm starting to do a little bit more in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. I got to go to Hawaii for a role, which was really cool.
Did they
Um,
fly you out, or did you have to pay for your own way out there?
yeah, they flew me out.
That's crazy. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was so cool. Earlier this year, I filmed in Nashville, Tennessee, so I've gotten to travel a bit, which is really cool.
That is really cool. What was the Hawaii movie?
So it's called Time Exposure, and I'm playing the director. He's also in the movie. I'm his character's daughter, and I go missing, and he has to go back in time to try to save me.
Wh-
Um,
which which island was it on?
the Big Island.
Okay, like Oahu or Maui or
I think it's just called Hawaii.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really know, like I just know that there are a few islands on there or whatever. So maybe you're just in the normal area or whatever. Like were
Yeah.
you on a beach at all or anything like tropical?
We didn't film anything on the beach, but yeah, we got to go there. We filmed at this really nice park. We had really beautiful views and everything. So that was really cool. And then we actually finished the movie earlier this year in Northern California in the Redwoods. We did some stuff. So that was really cool as well. It was so beautiful there.
Nice. Do you know when is there a like a potential release date like next year sometime or
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. It got delayed for a little bit because we originally filmed in Hawaii. It was in October 2023.
wow.
And then got delayed for a while. We just finished in January, but now it's all done. So I think now they just have to do the editing and everything. So hopefully soon.
Yeah, that's the thing about indie film. A lot of people don't. Everybody is so used to like Hollywood, where they can
Mhm.
just film for 5 months and then they're done, they're wrapped, and they they go on, but most indie films they can shoot, but then maybe they didn't get everything they needed and they have to do reshoots and then that and it takes a little longer sometimes. So kind of
Yeah, it
sucks.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, as an actor, you can't really do anything about that, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
you
Just
know,
hope
it's
it
got
comes. Yeah.
it's got to drive you crazy a little bit. Sometimes when people are like, "Hey, when's that movie coming?" You're like, "Hmm." You
Yeah.
know, I hope it comes out. I had a fun time making it, being a part of it, but I guess so you shot in Hawaii and you shot in like New Jersey. Where's a place you would love to like a location you'd love to shoot?
Oh, I would love to, travel to another country sometime to film, or I eventually want to go to every state, and so possibly filming in every state would be really cool if I could, get to do acting while doing it. So, yeah,
50 movies in 50 states. That would be
exactly.
fun. Yeah. That would be a I mean, I'm sure that could happen.
I hope so. Yeah.
Is I don't know. I've never met a South Dakota filmmaker, I don't think. You know.
Yeah.
I
Such.
don't know. There's so many states. I see. I'm like you. I'd love to visit every state. I don't know if I'd care. I'd be okay. Need to film or anything, but I'd love to visit every state at some point.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know. How many states have you visited yourself? Do you know, like offhand?
Probably about half of them, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. So you do a lot of traveling.
I do. Yeah, I love traveling.
Do you? Wow. Okay. Because I'm just getting into it myself.
Oh,
I
nice.
did it. I did it, but like, I do it, but like, I've been to, I don't know, a bunch of states, but there was something online where they were showing like, they're asking how many states have you been to? And I
Mhm.
was looking down going, oh my God, I really haven't, been to that as many as I thought I have, I need to get on that before I die. It's like on my bucket list, you
Uh,
know.
yeah.
What would be like the next state you'd like to visit?
Ooh, um, that's a really good question. I would love to go maybe like Oregon or Washington, like somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Because I feel like Northern California was a bit like similar in that way, and it was so beautiful. So I like to see more of that area.
So you've been to Northern California?
Hmm.
Okay, and yeah, I've always kind of wanted to go to Washington at some point. I just
Yeah.
never. I mean, I was just like I just got into this dude. There's this guy on YouTube named Simon Wilson, and he just that's all he does is he just goes to different places. He tries different things. He has different. It's like a travel show, but on YouTube. It's
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, it started making me a little jealous because I was
yeah.
like, oh, I want to go do that.
Yeah,
You
he's the
know
best job. Yeah.
what?
That's the best job.
To get
Yeah.
paid to do it too. Like
Yeah.
I think he was just at the time when he started just having fun, and then it
Mhm.
became like getting paid to do it. And then I was
Oh.
like thinking, why doesn't he do it like on TV, right? But
Mhm.
I was kind of reminded, if you do it on TV, there's rules, regulations, and him right now, he's got everything. And I was like, why doesn't more people make films like that and put them on YouTube and get the monetization and all that stuff? Like, I think if more people did that, like, they a lot of indie filmmakers could get more money. But yeah,
Mhm.
you know, um, so what films of yours are out?
Yeah, so there's several that are out. I was kind of like thinking of them in order that they've come out. Um, Video Hearts is one that I did that was really fun. It was a short horror film where it was based on 80s dating videos. So that was really fun to get to do the 80s style, and we got to improv with that a little bit.
What was your character?
I didn't really have a specific my character's name was Linda, and I just tried to throw in like a lot of 80s references or like, but I just found out that they're making a sequel. I think that's gonna be set in the 90s, so that's pretty cool.
Nice. Nice. Well, I mean, it's funny because, like maybe 10 years ago, 80s was very big and nostalgic and people are into that. Now it's all 90s stuff, and I think it's because people like you and and everything just, I mean, I don't know for your fact, but I miss the 90s, like the 90s were my years, and everything.
Yeah, they were great. I even feel like the early 2000s is coming back in now as well, which is
Well,
great. I love it, but
I know, and I do too. I just went to see Simple Plan, and they had their like what was it? How much was it? 25th anniversary or something? Yeah, it's crazy to think that they've been around for basically that long, and
crazy.
everything. Yeah, because now it makes me feel old,
Um,
but because I grew up on that music, but it's nice because, I look back at that stuff and yeah, I graduated in 2000. So,
okay.
I don't know, that kind of dates me, but like, yeah, but like the 90s were my middle school and my high school. So that's, there's, I barely remember the 80s, and everything and, whatnot. I mean, what's your favorite decade? 2000 or early 2000s or?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. Were pretty cool. Um, yeah, I would say, and then I always found like the late 60s really interesting as well. I really like just like, the style from that time. So
Yeah.
that as well.
Have you ever dressed up like that time period?
Yeah, I buy a lot of vintage dresses from the 60s, so yeah, I like that style a lot.
So you wear that like, normally, or whatever. Like go out when you go out to places or whatever.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Nice. I don't think I've ever done that. And I don't know. I don't look out for that stuff. So I don't even know what would a guy wear in this like girls I can kind of see in my head, but like guys, I don't know.
Yeah, it's harder to explain for guys.
Yeah. Like guys, we kind of like I can understand 50s because like they had the greaser stuff, right? And everything. So I can understand like leather jackets and stuff. But the 60s for guys is not see I didn't yeah, I never but the
Yeah.
girls, a lot of them even like do you ever like wear like hippie clothes?
Yeah, I like kind of hippie or kind of like the mini dresses that they would wear. I think were really fun.
Yeah, see that I could see in my head. Can't see what a guy would wear. So I don't know. I think guys, and for me I just wear t-shirts and jeans, and I think after the 2000s, we never really had much of a different trend and look and style. And
Yeah.
I kind of blame the internet for that, I think, because once the internet kind of came out, people started noticing the stuff. It's not like because I think naturally people just sort of wore what they wore, or whatever,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. And I feel like nowadays everything just goes back to what it used to be. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you been wearing the 60s clothes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Does that
Yeah.
make any sense?
Yeah, because I feel like, yeah, especially now, a lot of the style is very 2000s influenced, which yeah, but it was definitely more different. Like I remember in when I was younger, there was some 80s nostalgia and like 80s influence in the style, but we still had a lot different. Like the 2000s definitely had its own distinct style, but yeah, it's not as much now. Maybe there's just more variety now and more options available.
And more people doing styles and doing stuff
Mhm.
too. We have so many amazing people who just have learned how to do it. And so they can either do it themselves and make
Mhm.
their own clothes, or they can, make it for other people. And it's cheaper,
Right.
than going out and buying like a dress from, Estee Lauder or, something like that for you guys. But it's easier for somebody to go out and make the clothes. So, like I said, I mean, and I guess I'm more, I mean, I, I don't really like wearing, I don't wear suits much unless I have to. I'm very much either a shirt or a hoodie person,
Mhm.
just that, it's just what I feel comfortable with. And it's usually like a shirt like this Chucky shirt, like
That's
something, that's my style, and I don't really, but it doesn't necessarily look good, you know? Like people are like, "Oh man, he's dressed up," It just looks like you're just a normal guy. That's I guess how I would do it. And for you, you look great. I love your outfit you have on right now. So it's very cute.
Thanks.
And yeah, you're welcome. And and that's great because I need to myself around people who actually have style, and everything, like you.
Thank you. But yeah, it's good to be comfortable. And most of the time when I'm at home, I'm just wearing like a t-shirt and shorts too. So yeah.
Well, when you go out, you probably always want to make a good impression, right? Like,
Right.
you never know who's going to be there, who might see you out there, and be like, hey, let me cast you in this movie, you know,
Exactly.
right? So let's go through some of your like do you have like any habits when you do some of your like auditioning or getting ready for a role or anything like that?
Nothing really in particular, just going over my lines a lot. Yeah, nothing. I don't have anything specific that I think I really do before each role or each audition.
Fair. Some people do, some people don't. Now, you're just saying you just go over your lines. Are you very good at memorizing your lines?
I am, yeah. Luckily, I have a really good memory, so I'm good at that part of memorizing the lines. But yeah, I just usually just go over them in my head like over and over again.
I well, and it's funny. I'm not going to say who it was, but I met an actress, like a professional actress, who told me that she actually will cut some of her lines when she would do it. Like she'd go through it and say, these lines I don't need to memorize and whatnot. And I was like, how does the directors feel about that?
Yeah.
And she actually said her directors usually don't mind unless they're the writer director and they have they forget. But she always asks them first,
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, the she doesn't just do that, but she does ask if they're okay because she doesn't like those huge monologues and stuff that people. I love writing monologues. I love writing like big lines for people, and stuff. So don't know if she'd be happy with any of my scripts. I mean, do you like having a lot of lines, or would you prefer, you know, I don't know, just more character and less lines?
Yeah, I do like having a lot of lines because I think you know that gives you a little bit more to do like more emotion and maybe you get to show a little bit more range that way. So yeah, I like to have a lot of lines.
And something you can show in your reel,
Exactly.
because like that's the thing. That's what all that's what actors, especially indie actors right now. Most of the stuff that they want is stuff that they can put on the reel to show people for something that they're gonna get next time. Because most actors just they do their part, they do it to the best, that they can, the best that everybody can, and then they kind of move on to the next project. Um,
Right.
are you always sad when you move on to the next project and you're done wrapped for the day?
It's a little sad, but then I'm also kind of excited to like it's you kind of get this sense of accomplishment and also I'm excited to see how it turned out. And then, I try to focus on just the next thing, like whether I have another project coming up or auditions. I just try to focus on those.
And is that pretty much your life right now? Is like audition or filming, and stuff? Like, I mean, I know you went off, you had some fun. You got to go and go to a concert, you got to go have fun, enjoy yourself. Do you get a lot of that, or is it mostly like, trying to get work?
Yeah, so lately I've been working pretty consistently. I do mostly on the filming on the weekends, and I've pretty much had something almost every weekend lately, which has been really great. I've been really lucky with that. But yeah, every once in a while, like I'll have a weekend off, and then sometimes during the week I'm doing auditions. I work from home, so it's kind of nice. I can do like auditions during my lunch break or something like that, which is nice.
Or you can take your work with you.
Mhm.
Right? Like I had an actress who had a regular, job that she could do through like Zoom or whatever, or not Zoom, but she had a thing on her computer she could do it. And so she would work, during the day when we're not shooting, you know, and then when we shot, she was ready to go like that, that night and everything. So, it worked
Nice.
out, you
Mhm.
know. So she didn't lose money. You know.
That's good.
And that's probably what you think, right? Like you'd want to be able to do that, those days like that you can work, you want to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to not take off into unless I really have to. So there's been times I because I will sometimes have like someone come with me and they'll drive and then I'll just be like working from the car on the way to set. So it's nice to be able to do that.
Nice. So, okay. Well, so you I've never heard of somebody actually doing that, but I'm pretty sure I know people who have where they've worked in the car and on their way to something, or whatever, because that just sounds that sounds like a lot, to deal with at the time. You got to focus and there's stuff happening while you're driving, and everything.
It's a
Um,
lot.
yeah. Is the end goal for you to like be a professional actor, or you just see this sort of as a fun little, thing to do?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to if I could do it full time. That would be great. I'm would also be, happy with it if I just did it on the weekends and like doing indie films like I am now. But yeah, definitely if I got the opportunity to do it full time, that would be great.
Like, what would it take? Like how would you be able to do it full time and be like, what, say goodbye to my regular job and this is it? Like, how many would it be, like project after project and just too many happening or something?
Yeah, I guess if I was booking, consistently that I just wouldn't be able to take that much time off work or maybe if I was on a TV series or something that would be long term or so that then I would have to probably leave my job. So
Like, what TV show? Like, are you watching a lot of TV shows right now?
I'm watching, yeah, I watch a few. Um are you watching any right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching some like stuff from like Apple TV and stuff and everything. They seem to have really good, good film or TV shows on there. Like I'm watching Platonic. I'm trying to wrap up Platonic. I think it's got one more episode next week. But aside from that, I'm trying to do that, and then all the other shows and uh.
Mhm.
But are there any that have been catching your eye or?
I was recently, well, the season just ended, but I was watching the new Dexter season. It was really good.
I got it the first one, and then they made him a lumberjack at the end, and I was
Ah,
like,
that was
"What? What? What in the world?" And then I tried watching I think whatever the one that was after that, where he came back, like Dexter Returned, and I forgot what was it. Resurrection? Was that what it was called? Or
that's the newest
okay,
one.
that's the newest one. But so yeah, he comes back, and then I wasn't digging it. Like he had a son or something, and I was just okay, like I don't know. It didn't thrill me as much as I thought it would, so I stopped watching it, and I need to go back and watch some of that stuff because, why not?
Yeah, I think a lot of people felt that way though, and I think in the new one they're trying to kind of make up for that. So it's better.
Okay, it's better to. All right, well, I'll take your word for it. I believe you. I think we probably have a similar taste
Mhm.
in there. But yeah, I've been loving TV and I've been loving movies, lately. It's been fun to go back to the theater and watch stuff,
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I feel like I took a long time like not doing that, and everything. And you started acting it sounded like in 2021, 22-ish, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was late 2021.
Like right at like after COVID kind of, and
Yeah.
that seemed to be a big thing for people. It's like COVID
Um,
kind of made people think, I want to pursue my dreams, you know.
to just go for it. Yeah.
Do you think that might have had something to do with it, or it just wasn't like it just was, you know?
It, yeah, looking back, yeah, it could have. It was kind of crazy though, because I was going to grad school at the time too, so I was so busy that I don't even know how I had time to get into the acting, but it worked somehow.
And you did like what movies did you do like background for?
Oh, so I did background for a couple shows. I did it for the show Banshee
I've heard of that, yeah.
and Shameless.
Shameless. I watched the first season. I need to watch the
Oh,
rest, but
oh.
do you like that show?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was not just because you were on it in the back. Where would I be able to see you on there?
I'm in several episodes, but season six finale I had a pretty good shot where I get pretty close to the camera, so
Was it
probably
like
that.
during a like was it during like a bar scene or what?
No, it was a college scene. I was
Okay.
playing a college student.
So you were one of the college students that kind of like walked by or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Cool. I'll have to take a look, look out for you. I'll take a picture if I see you.
Absolutely.
And so you did Shameless and you did Banshee. Is there
And
any other ones?
yeah, I did Mindhunter, which was really cool.
Nice.
I was playing, while I was in crime scene photos, I was playing like one of the victims. So when they're looking at the crime scene photos, it's like one of them is just my foot, and then another one where I'm hanging.
Wait,
Um,
wait, are you saying you're a professional foot, model now? Technically you got paid to have your foot in a scene.
technically.
That's funny. Watch out. Quentin Tarantino will be looking out for that,
I know, yeah.
He's got a thing for feet. I I love it. Like I love that you're able to do that. Like that's awesome. And so you did a couple things. See, that's the thing. Like people don't like think about that. Like people get paid to have like stuff like that, to have their like feet shown,
Mhm.
and stuff. And I think some people are like, how do I get paid to do that? Like have pretty feet, I guess, right? Like did they have to give you like a foot audition?
No, they didn't for that. They had just had us send photos and they picked us off of photos. But my feet weren't in there. It was just like um
Your feet weren't in the shot or at all or anything? You can't see it?
no, you can see it like there's in the show you can see it. But we didn't have to like show them in pictures ahead of time.
So, when you were watching, did you watch the movie? You watched the episode?
Mhm.
Were you like, that's my feet?
Yeah.
Bring all your friends over. Look, there's my feet right there,
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
fun to do that, to go and watch for yourself.
yeah, I actually, because I did a couple Lifetime movies that I was
Oh,
extra
nice.
and yeah, out in LA. My roommate knew the guy that was the production coordinator for this shoot, and so he was just like, "Do you guys want to come out and be in it?" And then we did two of them together, and then she left and didn't want to do them like my roommate, and then I got to do two other ones and stuff, and they were fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, most of it's just sitting around, not doing anything
Yes,
until it's time to, and they want you there at like the beginning, even though they don't need you to the end. And
exactly.
it's like, that drives me crazy.
Hmm.
Because I never do that to any of my cast member or like any of my extras. I'm always like,
That's
be
nice.
here at this time,
Mhm.
and we will probably be utilizing you in the next whatever, whatever. Because I just people sitting around, I don't want them sitting around. I want them, if they're gonna sit around, they're gonna do something, right? Or whatever,
Mhm.
And so, um, yeah, I don't think, yeah, we've normally once people got in, came to the call time, we just were, we got them right into wardrobe and told them get ready to shoot. I mean, it's just easier to get, and that was another thing I've learned as a filmmaker. get your extras out of the way, as quickly as
Mhm.
possible because it's just less people around to make noise. You have to send them somewhere. It's just easier to just get them done. They can go home. They can have that experience pretty quickly, and they're not bored, you know. But
Right.
that's the thing. Like boredom is half the thing. Is like you're sitting
Mhm.
around, playing on your phone or something, But you're
Yeah, a lot of waiting around.
but you're getting paid, so you're a
Yes.
professional, texter at that point,
Exactly.
you know. Um, but yeah, but you obviously care more now that you're getting into more stuff. You're not looking for extra work now, right? Like you're trying to just continue with your regular career.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. I think maybe if I was like, acting full time, I might do more of that. But right now, I'm trying to focus on speaking roles.
Speaking roles, what kind of role, like, if you could pick your dream role, what would it be?
Probably something in a horror movie because those are my favorites. So maybe being like a final girl in the horror movie, um, like a really like iconic one in a really good horror movie. I mean, I've already done a bunch of horror movies, but maybe being like the main character would be cool.
To survive and kill the slasher,
Yes.
um, whatever, like the Alice in Friday the 13th, or chop off Jason's mom's head,
Mhm.
and everything. I mean, I don't think people give those actors enough credit, like Adrienne King, who, like, really, her character was very sort of shy. She was sweet, but she was kind of shy, kind of whatever. And then by the end of it, she is a badass and stuff. Have you seen the movie The Final Girls? Or yeah, I think it's The Final Girls, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the movie where the people go into the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like got the chick from Vampire Diaries. Nina Dobrev is in it, and a few other people, and it's really good. But like that to me was like, okay, this is how you do a horror comedy,
Mhm.
So if you said you've seen it, but yeah, I definitely recommend other people who haven't seen it a chance. If you're into horror, you know.
Yes.
Would you ever want to do like a comedy or drama or anything?
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten to do a little bit of comedy, so I definitely would love to do more. And yeah, really any genre I'm open to. But yeah, definitely more drama and comedy.
Well, you said you did a comedy. How different was, and not just because it's a movie where you're making somebody laugh as opposed to scaring them, but how different as an actor was it?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really find it that different. I think, it's both for any of it, you're just trying to portray, what's happening with the character, what they're feeling, as genuinely as you can. So I think, it's just getting into that whatever emotion it is, and it helps me to kind of think of times where I've experienced something similar or similar emotion at least. That helps me a lot. So I didn't actually really find it that much different, but it's definitely fun to to try something new.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny like thinking about that because it's hard as because I do acting as well, but I'm mainly a director. I'm a director who likes to more or less put myself in my movies and stuff. Then I don't seek out. I've only auditioned a few times, and I don't really like. I've never got things based on my auditions. Well, I mean, because I haven't really done it enough, and
Right.
I'm not. That's acting is not my biggest thing.
Mhm.
I just know sort of what I want out of the thing, so I know how I want my character. If I know how I want my character to act, and that's the thing. You, as an actor, have to like look at what the director wants from you, and not just what you want to do with the character. Do
Right.
you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, a director will come up to you and say, you know, um, usually, because you don't usually get a lot of like rehearsal time, right?
No, not really. No.
So you're kind of just thrown in, like, into it, like you have to do it. And then, so usually you have an idea what you how you want to portray it, what you want to do. Does the director usually come up and say that was good, but can we do it like this way or something for you?
Yeah, most of the directors I've worked with have pretty much just kind of let us, they might give a couple notes, but just kind of let the actors do their thing. But yeah, there's definitely some who more like wanted a very specific way. So that can be a little bit more difficult, but it's a good challenge. So.
Well, they've nobody's ever gave you a line like, right? Like a line reading.
No, no,
And so nobody said say it exactly like this, right?
no. Yeah, likely that hasn't happened.
Because that's the people have done that before, and I think that's obnoxious,
Mhm.
a little bit. But I've heard some filmmakers still do that, and I'm just like, it's wrong because like, you know, you you've hired the actor because you believe that they can do whatever, but you don't want to tell them this is how you do it, and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, I was talking about this with another actress, and she's like, at that point, like you're just imitating them. You're not really like feeling, what you're supposed to be, or it doesn't feel as natural.
Have you taken acting classes or no?
No, I haven't. I've just kind of done it on my own.
You're just naturally gifted.
I
You're
hope
like
so.
you're like I'll take that. But no, but like I mean, but sometimes I mean some acting classes, and I do read a few of the acting books, mainly for me and for as a director to kind of see what I can help with or whatever. Like some actors, they're very particular about certain things, certain ways they do things and everything. But some of the books, like there's a great book called Meisner on Acting, and it's like basically it's his Sanford Meisner's classes that he took or that
Okay.
he had that he gave. And it's like it talks about, oh, we're gonna do this thing and then this person did this and but it kind of explains the acting tropes and different things that the I don't know what they're called, experiments or whatever you want to call them, but he taught them how to do these things through these different like experiments that they had. And it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like I know like when people have been acting for a while, it's kind of harder to tell them to do that or whatever, or ask them, like because they know, you know what you're doing. You've been doing it for enough time where unless somebody comes up and says, "Can you do this?" and you have no idea what they're talking about,
Right.
or whatever. And usually that's not, I mean, that sounds like it wouldn't be in the script. Like if you didn't understand what was going on, you would, right?
Right.
You would tell
Exactly.
somebody, you know. Um, have you like are you're not like a method actor, right? Like you you don't live that character outside of that character, right?
No, not at all.
You
I
know
feel
that
like that would be annoying to other people.
it's just funny like method acting is sort of people do it. Jim Carrey has been famous. There's a documentary on him where he was you ever seen the movie Man on the Moon that he did where he played
Um,
Charlie Kaufman? Not
I've
Charlie Kaufman,
heard of it.
Andy Kaufman. Oh my God. It's really good, but he was Andy. Like he was like he got into that role so much he told nobody to call him Jim. You had to call him Andy and everything. And you didn't know what was going on. He was that way the whole time and everything. That would
Wow.
drive me crazy. Like
Yeah.
I would not like that. I would probably fire somebody over that or
Yeah.
have something like because I mean I couldn't imagine that. So I'm glad you're not a method act. There, I mean, it'd be funny if you're playing like if somebody was playing like a serial killer and they were like, "Oh, I need to go kill some people
Yeah.
to make to to get into this." Um,
Yeah.
but there's ways to do things like if you're playing a drug addict and you want to really feel like you are, there's some t tools that can
Mhm.
help you like feel, because like when you act as an actress, do you ever like feel like you're that character at that time?
Um, I guess kind of in the moment, but I definitely like once they cut, like I definitely, can come out of it right away. Like I don't ever feel like that like outside of when I'm actually acting.
Yeah, like I can imagine somebody getting too into it, and
Yeah.
like they're just all of a sudden it takes them a while because it is I've talked to some actors, and it has taken some people a second to get out of that because like
Mhm.
even when the person calls cut, they are still there and for a second, and they're just like, they have to like kind of snap out of it.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, I've never had that, but I know some people do.
Yeah. Now do you need like because you've worked off of people, have you ever you worked off of somebody who just sort of wasn't giving you what you needed?
Um, yeah, sometimes it's like maybe not what you were expecting, but I think, if you just try to focus on doing the best you can with your lines and, try not to let that affect you. Yeah.
But like, because, when, especially if you're playing like, say you're playing boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody, or whatever, you're a couple, and there's just no chemistry there.
Mhm.
How do you fake that? How do you make it work?
Yeah, that's a tough. Yeah, I feel like there's only really so much you can do in that situation. But yeah, I think just giving the best that you can is really all you can do.
And then looking back, has that ever happened to you?
No, luckily it hasn't
Okay,
happened yet. So that's
good. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, you'd have to look back at your stuff, and then you'd have to be like, if somebody says something about that, you'd be like, well, I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't cast the person, and we didn't have, you know, um, I did have an actress once who wanted us, because we were playing husband and wife, wanted us to go out to on a fake date, kind of thing. We went to play pool and hung out and stuff, but it wasn't like anything. And honestly, if we hadn't done it, I don't think it would have changed much of the stuff, but we did it. I mean, we did it because that's how she wanted things done, And so I totally get that, you know. Um, but
Mhm.
I guess you haven't done that yet or anything. You haven't gone on like fake dates with people or, had that kind of moment.
No, no, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess if that helps someone, that's fine. But yeah, I feel like I've, just met them when we got to set and it's worked out. Okay, so
That's good. And you get to meet a lot of great people when
yeah.
you're on there. Do you like to do a lot of networking on set? Like, do you get hired for other roles because of somebody that's on the set?
Yeah, I definitely like to network. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever yet like actually gotten a role that way, but yeah, it's definitely there's been like some directors that I've worked with more than once or so yeah, but it's always good to meet people and build connections and everything.
So you worked with people more than once because they enjoyed working with you,
Mhm.
you know. And usually that means you enjoyed working with them. Uh,
Yeah.
you don't have to say who, but has there ever been a time you just hadn't felt comfortable on a set?
No, luckily on set, I've had good experiences. There's been a couple times where I like auditioned for, almost worked with someone that kind of ended up being good that I didn't. But yeah, luckily the people I've actually worked with have been great.
Yeah, so you're that's actually good that whatever that happened to that person with that film didn't they didn't cast you or whatever, it didn't work out, you know.
Yeah, it ended up being a good thing. Yeah.
But because as especially an actress out there working, it's got to be tough at times to like think to yourself like you're going out somewhere, you don't know these people. They say there's a film, there's a script, but what if you got there and nothing happened? Like they were just there. They were, I mean, that's almost feels like in a movie in itself, but like you get there and it's like all of a sudden the people are like, "Oh, I just wanted to hang out with you." You know? Like, right? Like that could happen.
It could.
Because you just don't know. Like you think, you might have had like lots of talks or whatever with the person, but it's just like all of a sudden it's like, oh, I was just lonely, and so I just paid for you to come out, and you're the only one really, and like what do you do in that situation? Like I need to go, like
Yeah,
right?
awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's the crazy thing because like you don't know how things are going to go. You don't know if the director is going to be as nice as they might seem before, right? Like so far you've been lucky, you
Mhm.
know, and everything, but I mean you just definitely don't know. So it's always good to sort of, I guess have all those really good experiences because, hopefully you never have that, you never have a bad one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Now I'm not trying to worry.
That's okay.
You're like all of a sudden your eyes are getting big. You're like, wait, what are you trying to say? Like, is there something coming up? You know? But no, I say that as a person who makes movies, and I've heard like a horror story about
Mhm.
one specific one where the people flew out and they only had like one-way tickets there. Yeah. And then they got stranded there and everything, and their hotel was not booked, and the money, like the guy that was running it didn't even know, didn't have the camera there because he didn't pay for the like all this thing. Like I don't know how he thought he was gonna make the movie,
Yeah.
and I don't know why he didn't just tell everybody it's canceled, right? Like, I think he still thought he was somehow going to be able to make the movie. And yeah, he got into a lot of trouble over that. And it makes me worried about the indie film scene. Like, you
Mhm.
have to double, triple, quadruple check the people sometimes, and stuff. But so that's just a warning for a lot of people, period, you know. Not just you, because obviously you picked pretty good movies to work on and stuff. And you seem to work with a lot of the same people coming back. So,
Mhm.
um, what's the most exciting project that you worked on?
Ooh, I've had a few. So I had one come out on YouTube called Twitchers, and I was
Oh.
playing a character in a zombie apocalypse, but she um, has POTS, a condition called POTS, which I also have in real life. So that was really cool to get to kind of bring some representation to that.
What is it?
Um,
What is that?
so for me, I will pass out if I am standing for too long or something like that. Like not every time, but like it's happened before. I think it's just that when you stand up, your blood pressure doesn't regulate like it's supposed to. And so yeah, I've definitely like passed out a few times at work or
That
almost.
sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was cool to get to play because I've never seen a movie with a character that had that
And was
condition
this in a
before.
horror film?
Yeah.
And was like, so that's interesting. So like the character just had that happen to her every now and then in the movie.
Yeah, there's a scene where she passes out. Yeah, so it was interesting to to play that. But that movie was really cool, and I was kind of the one of the leads in that, so I got to felt like I got to show more range and be in it more. And there's also there's like the zombie apocalypse stuff, but there's also the relationship between like my character and her mom. They're having um kind of like a conflict. My character feels like she wants to be more independent, but her conditions also making that harder. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting one.
That would be very easy for zombies, like zombies are walking and all of a sudden the girl just passes out and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, she just made us a meal, chomp, chomp, chomp," you know?
That would be a real concern. Yeah.
Yeah, what did that happen? So you passed out and did the characters like take you away or something? Or like did you wake up and like the zombie apocalypse was happening? Like how'd that work out?
Yeah, so she sees a zombie and then is like running away and passes out. But she doesn't get I guess she was lucky there was like nobody around because she just kind of wakes up. And then when she wakes up and goes home, she kind of sees all this stuff happening.
Oh wow. All right. What is it called?
It's called Twitchers.
Twitchers. I'll have to check that out when, hopefully next year, right? Or this year.
Oh, so that one's out. It's out on YouTube.
Oh, nice. And is it a shorter feature?
It's a short film.
Okay. Do you like working on short films?
I do. Yeah, I've mostly done short films. So I do want to get into more feature films, but yeah, I mean it is nice sometimes to just go and do like a day of work and and then you're done with it. So
Y-
um they're
Yeah.
cool films, yeah.
Yeah, you just come out for a day or like for you it sounds like, mostly that's all you can do sometimes is a day or two, right? Because of your work. So, like the weekend.
Yeah, I do mostly weekends and then every once in a while for something I'll take a few days off of work if it's something that I'm really interested in. If I have, time to take off, I'll do like a few days, maybe like I've never done more than a week. But yeah, I would definitely love to do more feature films.
Nice. I love that. Like I love that you're so, excited about this, just the work and doing it and coming out to different places and recording, it's just amazing, you know. So what's your next project?
So I have a few coming up. I just did one over the weekend that was a short horror film involving a vampire. I just filmed that this past weekend in Staten Island. Um, and then I have a few that aren't scheduled yet, but they're coming up. I just got one called Don't Hang Up, and my character is getting creepy phone calls from someone that's like stalking her, kind of like Scream a little bit. So that one will be fun. Um, yeah, I have one called, oh, I just did one called Tales from Deathville, which is going to
Nice.
be out on YouTube soon.
Was that
Um,
like an anthology or is that just, like that sounds like an anthology, like Tales from, And so what is your one in that one? Like what's the short in that?
Yeah, it is an anthology. So, and I might actually get to be in more episodes in the future as different characters. So that's exciting.
Nice.
But the one I did, I'm playing a character where my coworker has someone that's stalking her, and then someone ends up killing her. So it's actually kind of interesting to film because we're filming just in this parking lot of these stores, and I have to come out and yell at this guy because I think that he killed my friend, and there's just like all these random people around just shopping. So that was fun, but yeah, I'm excited to see the episode.
That's hilarious. So, like, people are just going around shopping. All of a sudden, they hear you coming out yelling at people. They're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, just like screaming at this guy.
They probably thought it was real, right? And
Probably.
they're like, "Sweetie, you don't have to handle. You don't have to deal with that. Okay? We're
Exactly.
here for you. Right?" That's funny. Um, yeah, well, I mean, the most fun thing sometimes with horror films is like, have you ever like gone to like dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever after the shoot, like in your bloody clothes? Have you ever done that?
Oh, not yet, but yeah, I hear that happens a lot.
That you will one day. That'll be something because we had to do that. One of our shoots, we had the girl who's all bloodied out. We didn't have time to give her a shower. We had to get out of the location and we wanted like IHOP or whatever. So we went and she was all like in whatever and everybody was like, "Whoa." Because what? It was after Halloween. It was like, yeah, it was Valentine's Day ish time. And they were like, "What happened to you?" And I think at first she let them not know that it was a horror film. And I thought that was hilarious. But I mean, because all I could keep thinking was, do we need to get you a shower before you go in there? Because it's gonna look really sketchy. Um, but that's awesome. I love that. I love that you're very gung ho for this. I mean, do you like to get bloody?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's fun.
Some people don't. Some people are like, oh, you know, I don't want to deal with that. But like, some people are really into it,
Mhm.
and everything. Makeup is a lot of fun. It takes a
Yeah,
while, or whatever,
it does. Mhm.
Yeah, especially if you have a lot of blood on you.
Yeah, but I think it's fun. I think it's part of the whole experience with horror movies.
Yeah, then you're living your dream of like,
Mhm.
being that. And I'm surprised you haven't been a final girl yet, you know.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened.
I guess I've technically survived a few horror movies, but um, like Twitchers, I survived, so I'm technically am a final girl in that. But it's really mostly like my character um and her mom as well. So maybe like in more of a slasher though, with like a bigger cast, it would be cool to be like the survivor.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the final girl would only imply that they're the last one standing, that everybody else is dead and everything. So, yeah, because what that I guess that was with Nancy from Friday or from Nightmare on Elm Street. Alice from Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Halloween, Laurie Strode was I mean, unless you count the kids, or whatever in that
True.
movie, but I guess you don't, because most time kids don't die in those horror movies, you know,
Right. Mhm.
um, unless they really want to go dark, you know.
Yes.
But is that something like, do you like, have you ever played a mom yet, or do you, I mean, because you look very young, so. Like I'm sure you get more, 20 something or younger kind of roles, but have you ever played a mom yet?
I have, yeah, I did. I played a mom in this film. It's not out yet, but it was called A Good Example. And basically, me and my kid, we meet this guy who's homeless, and it shows two different scenarios. One where I'm like very judgmental of him, and then one where I'm helpful to him and nice to him. So it's kind of like showing what not to do, and
Yeah.
So yeah, I did play a mom in that. Yeah.
Did you enjoy that? Was that fun?
Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, were you, like having kids or whatever, or kid, is that just like, I mean, because like some people, I don't know, everybody has different views of how they feel with that, kind of stuff. So I'm glad to hear that you enjoy doing stuff like that's different than all the other roles that you normally play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else? Like, is there any projects that we didn't get to mention that you wanted to talk about real quick?
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, I have a couple other ones out. Roll for Terror is a short film that I did, and it's where a group of us we were playing D&D, and then we also summon a demon with a Ouija board, and it shows
Wait,
up.
so you're playing D&D with an Ouija board, or is that like separate things?
It's like separate. Like I think we're supposed to be in this kind of haunted place, and we're playing, and we do the Ouija board before. But that one's pretty funny. It's kind of a horror comedy, um, which is
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, but are you a big gamer yourself, like role player?
no, I haven't really done it that much. No, are you into that?
Not really.
No.
I haven't. My one of my friends plays that kind of stuff. He plays one called Pathfinder, which is way more math and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
which is way nerdier than anything I can. Cause I hate math, so like I wouldn't even want to play that game. But yeah, I never got into D&D. I never got into that. I watch movies. That's all I did. So if there was D&D in the movies like in yours, I'd
Uh-huh.
be okay with that. But like
There you
other
go.
than that, I'm not there. I'm no dungeon master or doing any of that stuff. I
No.
just didn't get into it. as a kid. And I feel like if you didn't get into it as a kid, you're not going to get into it as an adult. You know,
Probably not. Yeah.
it's kind of like smoking. I never got into smoking as a kid, so pretty sure now I'm okay that I'm probably never really going to smoke.
Yeah, that's good.
Um, so anyway, is there anything else you want to let people know? Like how can they reach you? They like to book you for a role.
Yeah, so you can reach me on either on Instagram, it's at Julie K. Seidel. You can email me also Julie K. Seidel at gmail.com. I'm definitely open to, different offers or, working with anyone. So yeah.
Have you ever had to turn people down? Like, I mean, not necessarily because the scripts were, well, I mean, if the scripts were bad, I'm sure that's one reason to turn somebody down. But was like, have you ever had to turn people down?
Not yet. No, I've been trying to kind of take any opportunity I can, so I haven't done that yet.
There you go, people. Julie will look at your script and,
Yes.
and most likely do it if as long as it's not as long as it's not like I mean, because like it's scary sometimes. Like even there's a guy. I'm not gonna say the filmmaker's name because he's been known to sue people, and stuff or whatever. But like he's done some sketchy. I'll talk to you about it after. But like
Mhm.
he's done some sketchy stuff and everything. Like to the point where people are not sure if the movie is real, and stuff. Like some of the stuff looked real, like that he filmed. He says it's not, but like people are just not sure and everything. There's other people who have said it was real, and stuff, and that's scary, you know, and
Yeah.
everything. So I don't know. There's documentaries about this guy, and I'm sure he knows exactly who I'm talking about if he's listening, but he's
Probably.
probably not listening. But yeah, it's crazy to think how like the horror world could get could get that scary at times because you
Yeah.
just don't, like I said before, you just don't know what's out there. And so, but you sound like, I mean, so far everything's been great for you as far as the movies you did get to work on and everything. You got to film in Hawaii. Like, how many people can say that? Like, that's awesome, you know? I would love to just write a movie that's set in Hawaii just so I could go out there and film it up there
Yeah,
someday,
sure.
right? That or Ireland or Scotland or what's a place that you'd love to shoot out there like in another country?
Yeah, actually, Scotland, and then I was in Greece earlier this year, so I would love to go back there and
That's right. I
film.
did see pictures of that. That's crazy. So, what made you go out to Greece? Like you just wanted to go out there and test and check it out or
Yeah, it was just always kind of somewhere that I had wanted to go. It just, it seemed just to have a really interesting like culture and history, and it's so beautiful there. So yeah, that was just always one of my top places that I wanted to go, and finally got to do it earlier this year.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been there and they nothing but raving reviews. I've never heard somebody who regretted going to Greece. So,
No,
you
it's
know,
weird. It's amazing.
uh, yeah. So I would love to, yeah, I'd have to definitely have to check that out someday. But I'm I'm not in a hurry, right now. Maybe I should be because, it's starting to get old. But but no, it's one of those things where I'm just like I'm enjoying like as like, I agree with your thing. Like I would love to go to every state. Like that would be so much fun, check out every place. So but I'm glad you've been to Virginia. You seem to have been here and you shot here before, right?
Yes, I have.
What did you shoot out here?
Twitchers we filmed in Virginia. I'm
Wow.
trying to think if I filmed anything else there. I filmed Tales from Deathville was in Maryland. It was in Baltimore. And then the one I was talking about where I played the mom, that was in I think that was in Virginia around the DC area as
Cool.
well.
Awesome. There you go. So yeah, well, we can't wait to have you come back here for more stuff here as
Thank you.
well. And everybody, book Julie for anything that you guys got because she's willing to work, you
Yes.
know. Just, just show up and have a great time because that's literally what it is to me. Like I don't like the drama. I don't like any of the other stuff. I want to have a good time. I want to save the drama for the movies, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be
Uh,
fun. Yeah.
yeah, it should be fun, and everything. So hopefully everybody checks out our work. Twitches is on YouTube. Uh if we are any of your films on Tubi yet?
I think there might be one. I had a pretty small role in it. But Dark Frequency, I think is maybe on Tubi. And then I also had a small role in this one, but Night of the Harvest is one that's on Amazon Prime.
Nice. So there you go. Well, more stuff for people to watch. So hopefully people check those out. And thank you, Julie. We'll definitely have you
Thank
back
you.
on when you get some more work. Which, I mean, like I've said, you're doing so much that it won't be too long before you have way more work to talk about and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Join me next month for a brand new episode. And until then, have a good one.